How do you know when to start?
Hey, I'm John Marshall, and we're Suncoast NPI TV, and we're back. And I have Mr. Chris McKinley across from me. And this one, I've been waiting for this one for a while. So I'm delighted that he's here. But again, Suncoast NPI for TV. It's an incredible opportunity. You need to jump on this. But we're talking. This is all about Chris. We're NPI. We don't accept everybody. We accept people that it's seat specific, right? So people that are rock stars in the category, and that's you, sir. And people that have servant's heart. And I know you and your family, and you guys have like one of the biggest hearts ever. So I'm delighted to have you as a member. And the commitment to make the chapters thrive. But this time is all yours. And I know it's a week after your second anniversary.
Yes,
You're in your third year, man.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Blowing up.
Blowing up. So I know you pretty well, Chris. I love you to death. I love you like a brother, your brother in Christ. And your wife, Jamie, she's amazing. Your kids are awesome. And but not everybody else out here knows you. If you don't mind, why don't you share just a little bit? Tell me about Chris Mills.
So as you just alluded to, yeah, I'm married. I have a wife, Jamie, of 10 years. It'll be this year. I have 3 kids. I'm a recent Dunedin resident.
Yes.
I just moved to Dunedin recently, and I love it. It's an amazing town. Getting to know the ins and outs of the town, which is kind of cool.
That's awesome.
I'm a sort of South Florida alumni. Go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
We through that, I became an I know.
Never mind. I didn't do that.
I know. It's okay. Go Bulls. But I got my undergrad and graduate degrees from South Florida.
Awesome.
In engineering, and I'm a professional engineer with the state of Florida.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Licensed mold assessor with the state of Florida. And I'm a sinkhole investigator and a sinkhole specialist. I've done like 5 years at least of training and 300 plus sinkhole investigations over the years.
300 plus?
Yeah.
You got a lot of little titles going on back behind you.
Yeah,
I know we're going to drive into that a little bit. That's cool.
Couple things going on.
But at the core, you're an amazing man and a good human being, and you're just awesome. So thank you for sharing that and telling everybody else out here. So how about you? What about your company? Let's dive into that.
So the name of my company is McKinley Engineering Consulting.
Okay.
It's named after my youngest son, McKinley Mills. And like I said, we're celebrating our second anniversary last week, which is amazing. I can't believe this has gone as far as it has, and that has been as it's a blessing.
Wow. Yeah, that is a blessing.
We specialize in geotechnical engineering, structural engineering, and forensic engineering. And this was our goal with this company. Me and my wife started this, and she's been kind of the right-hand VP, CEO, whatever you want to name her. She has really taken the steering wheel on a lot of this, and we really wanted to be a liaison between customers, clients, and contractors.
Gotcha.
And just to be able to provide unbiased support for people.
Gotcha.
Because we have no skin in the game. We're just an engineer, and we're just going to kind of tell you how to do it.
Right.
We're not going to try to profit on a sale or anything along those lines. So it's kind of like a middleman.
Gotcha. That's cool. I appreciate sharing that because it is unique. It is something that's a little bit different. And so with that said, what do you see as the top 3 problems homeowners actually call you for?
So yeah, a lot of the stuff that we see, we deal with realtors a handful because they will look at a house, or a home inspector will look at a house, and they'll call out certain things.
Right.
Certain things that are kind of not in their wheelhouse, the home inspector's wheelhouse. So specific items are cracks in walls, cracks in flatwork, which are concrete slabs, patios and pool decks, stuff like that. We also get a lot of calls for moisture intrusion or different moisture intrusion areas. A big one is vapor transmission through the slab.
Right.
If your water table is high, and if you have wood flooring, it can really damage your wood flooring if it's not done properly. And a third thing that we get called a lot about is permitting. People need to get permits for different reasons.
Okay.
And we can help facilitate most of that process. Some things maybe too complex.
Right.
We try to stay towards the somewhat lower end of things. I'm not going to design an 8-story building at this point. It's just, it would swamp me and it would take everything from me.
Gotcha.
But I will get there at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, needing permits and being able to get things through the different municipalities in the area.
Gotcha. Very cool. Very cool. And I think we have some pictures teed up. And so I want to dive in and help tell a story, some recent interesting projects you've had going on.
So yeah, one we just finished was a tiki hut that was in Tarpon Springs. And there's a picture of it there. It was a very basic design. Not anything too complicated. However, because it is a permanent structure, it needs to be permitted through the municipality, which was the city of Tarpon Springs, and they needed to have footings
Right.
and a structural analysis, and need to be able to withstand 140-mile-an-hour winds, which is the design criteria for that area.
Interesting. Okay.
Another project that we did was it was a remodel of a house in Dunedin.
Okay.
Just recently, it just finished. We have a before picture and an after picture. That's the after picture. That's the before picture. And you can see the roof line is a little bit lower, has some different areas going on with it. That porch is kind of segmented with posts and everything. And then in the after picture, take out a lot of those posts, kind of cleaned up the roof line and vaulted the ceiling on the inside to create that open area look.
Gotcha.
Which
Very
looked nice.
cool.
So I think they did a good job. We primarily did the design of it, and then they kind of took it from there.
Gotcha. Awesome. It looks amazing. And I know one of the things you said earlier about some of your background, and one of the things you mentioned was sinkhole. And we live in Florida, and we live in this area, and sinkholes a lot of time is top of mind.
Yeah.
How about, you want to tell us a few of those sinkhole stories? You mentioned over 300 plus.
Yeah. A couple interesting ones were there was a sinkhole in Spring Hill. So back in the heyday of sinkhole investigations, there was a lot of activity going on, especially in Spring Hill. Well, there was this one time where we had a sinkhole open up underneath a drill rig. We were exploring for a sinkhole, and next thing you know, sands like through the hourglass. Like time through the hourglass. And sand was just funneling through this hole, and it was 30 feet deep and probably about 15 feet around at that point. And it was pretty amazing just to see the vacation and the disappearance of this material.
Absolutely.
Another one that was really cool was this Temple Terrace house. We did a house, and they had open areas around the property where they had sinkholes already open up in the middle of a subdivision. So this isn't like in the middle of the woods or anything. This is in the middle of a subdivision.
It's crazy.
You walk through one of the houses, through the dining room in the house, and they have a china cabinet up on the wall, and it sounded like it was a hollow slab, like it was like you were walking through a raised foundation. If you ever know a wooden framed house that's on a raised foundation, or a second floor, you can feel footsteps. It sounds like pounding.
Right.
Well, this is what it sounded like, but this was a concrete slab. So what did that indicate? There's nothing below that concrete slab, and there was a huge void right below these folks' dining room, which was very scary.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you didn't want to really get too close. Had to take everything very sensitively.
Sure.
When we were doing exploration, and then we did this church recently, where it was in Tarpon Springs, and a sinkhole opened up again underneath the drill rig while we were exploring for it. The drill rig collapsed into the building because it lost its footing.
Right.
And it's a tower rig, and it fell over into the building, broke these custom-made hand-blown glass windows. It was this beautiful house that it had fallen into, and created a huge void underneath this building.
Wow.
That had to be shored immediately, or the building would have collapsed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's pretty.
And those are
insane.
three of a lot of stories you have. So we have a couple more minutes here. So what differentiates you in your company within the marketplace, Chris?
So I feel like as a Christian and as a person that has the servant's heart, being an MPI member, I feel like I have a lot of integrity with what I do. I've had to decline a handful of jobs just because not only is it not in my wheelhouse, but more specifically, it is not something that I want to associate with. It's kind of in that gray area where it's probably best undone. And I'd be willing to, and I'm able to not have to take those jobs.
Right.
Just
That's
because it's
awesome.
not worth it for us. And another thing that we do is we love to just help people. We look for these opportunities to be able to help people. Like that's what the whole permitting thing is, that we want to get these things pushed across the finish line.
Right.
We want to help people be able to get their projects to fruition.
Right.
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm going to talk about some goals.
So our current goals are we're trying to build relationships, cultivate these relationships with our current clients.
Right.
We have a handful of really good clients that we do a lot of work for. And we also like to get maybe a handful of newer clients that we can build those relationships with.
Gotcha.
We don't have thousands of clients like some people have that are in the commercial business,
Right.
real estate, or even HVAC. You're going to have multiple customers, but we have a handful of people that we deal with, probably less than 20.
Gotcha.
But we get the majority of our work from those 20 people.
Okay.
And they just, when they have a problem, they come to us. And that's what we want. We want you to, that's what we want to be for our clients, is if there's a problem, this is where you come to.
That's amazing. So I tell you what, we have less than a minute. Why don't we close out with your why don't we close out with your favorite famous or inspirational quote?
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah. I'll try to make this as quick as I can, but you can be, well, my famous inspirational quote, I'll just read it for you. I feel like everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, I'd always think it's stupid. And that's by Einstein. And we all know that Einstein is not a stupid guy. But if you put people in certain categories, it's really easy to put people in boxes and classify them. But if you put them in the box, that's really taking a lot away from them, because they're more than just that thing that you think they are.
Yeah.
So take the leashes off, take the binding off, and just be free. Be able to do what you want to do.
You're awesome. Chris McKinley, McKinley Engineering, thank you. Congratulations on your third year.
Thank you.